A very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Gurtej from Board Infinite team, and we are back with the new topic that is a pinpoint in the engineering sector. That is the how to start with the coding, competitive coding. And with this today's session, we have the Rahul sir with us, who will be taking the entire session, sharing the roadmap. What should the engineer do in the while studying at the college level? What roadmap she should follow, or maybe she should follow, right? So thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us today. And stage is all yours.
So yeah, hi everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as first of all, thanks for welcoming me. And as of now, you must have noticed that we are going to, look into what is the guide to basically kickstart the competitive coding. So we will be looking into the topics which is important, right? The roadmap basically, which one should follow if it is a newbie to the coding world, right? So that we will be discussing today in this live session. Okay, so can we start? Good day, we can start. Okay, I think he's on mute. That's fine. So let's start this. Cool. So the today's agenda will be, first of all, we'll start with what is coding, why to code, right? Why it is important to code, right? Then we will look into some my personal experience and my journey. Like I started from college, what I learned, right? Like whatever was my journey, we'll talk about that. Then we'll see what are the key things which will be required for competitive coding, like what all sort of knowledges, what all sort of skill set will be required for competitive coding, right? What all languages we have, so using that we can do this competitive coding, right? Then we will look into some practice, how to start with practicing the online questions from the online platforms, such as different platforms we have. We will talk about it later. Then we'll try to solve a simple pseudo problem. So that will be basically to a simple problem, a simple real life problem which we have seen so far in our schools. So we'll try to solve that problem using a particular programming language, right? Cool. So the very first question is why to code, right? Everyone this question is like very much popular. Like why to code? Why coding is required, right? So see, whatever you think, right? Whatever the process you think, right? Practically, if you say, logically, if you say, you can code all those, all those all those knowledges, right? So that computer can understand and it can work for you, right? Work for you to basically fulfill your whatever the requirement is, right? The very first thing. Now if you say why it is required, right? Why it is required that whatever I thought, I must code it so that I will get it as a utility. So we can see around us we have multiple utility around us. If you say Facebook, if you say Amazon, what all these things are, this thing we use on our daily life, right? And from where all these things come from, you guys already know this, right? These all things come from coding, right? So some people were there who were sitting at some place who thought of, okay, I want these sort of features. Can I say computer to basically perform these all sort of operation for me, and for me as well as all for all the all the people around me, so that I can generate some money from that, right? I can instead of just sitting in my office, I can operate multiple shops, right? It all will be online, right? So there is a thought behind it, and what that thought required, right, to be actually be practical among us, right? It was a coding, right? So coding is nothing but whatever you think into your mind, right? You can code it. You can use a particular language to make your system understand, right, to do your particular task, to simply fulfill your requirement. Okay, so it's like that. And now you ask, like, from where to start coding. Like, whatever I thought, okay, I thought multiple things. So is it like, how, like, where, from where I should start this, right? So the very basic thing will be, see, we have multiple problems around us. So instead of simply focusing on bigger problems, like, okay, I want to create something which is similar to Ola, like, can I code it? No, you can't. If you are a newbie to the coding world, you can't, right? You have to start from somewhere. You have to understand some languages, so using that language you can build up that product, right? But to understand the language, you have to learn that language, right? You have to understand what all feature is there in that particular language. You can choose, obviously you can choose any language which you want to make your application. Of course, it should fulfill the requirement that, okay, that thing can be built using this particular language. You have to fulfill that requirement. But the thing is, you have to basically understand that language very clearly, right? Very in deep. Basically, you have to understand that language, right? To understand language, to be more comfortable with, very first thing, to language, and to basically how good you are to convert your mindful thoughts to the programming languages, so that the computer can understand it better. We need to code, right? We need to convert our uh, uh, thought process to this programming languages, so that computer can understand these languages, right? So that's why I will say the coding is basically required, right? That's why you, if you see around you, especially in this pandemic time, you are seeing that you are sitting at your home. There are multiple utilities which is happening around you, like by just sitting at home, you are getting all the products online, right? Multiple things are happening online, right? You are able to see multiple things over the internet, right? You are able to see by just being at home, you are able to see this there's all these matches which, like, India just won this match, right? You were able to see all those things by just sitting at home. It's not required that you need to go to the stadium and watch it over there, because there is a technology, there is all sort of things which is available, which is enabling all those things to be happening right now, right? So I will say that around us, by just sitting at one place and having everything around us via internet, right? This this coding is really helping us into our daily to daily life. That's why if you see, there are multiple peoples. By the term multiple peoples, what I mean is there are multiple professionals who are working into different domain. They also can code, in short, right? Because it's nothing but, as I said initially, it's nothing but you, whatever you thought, you can code, right? It's just that you need to learn a sort of language, right? I, because a language will have some sort of syntax, will have some sort of rules, right, which you have to follow to make sure that your code runs successfully without any error, right? So I will pause here, and if you have any question, we'll love to answer that. Any question till now? Any question? Anything related to coding? Any specific question? No? Okay. We'll wait for one more minute. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. I don't think we have any question till now. Fine. Let's continue. Okay. So, talking about my personal experience in coding. Okay. So I started from, like everyone else. I completed my 12th. I joined. I basically got admission to one of the college. I basically graduated from Punjab University, Chandigarh. So I got admission there, and that was the first year of my college. And because I do not have any experience in coding, like before college, I had zero experience in coding. So it was like I was, very new to this. So initially, it was totally new. Like whatever was, being taught in the class, I was not able to understand. because it was totally new to me. So right, not so much comfortable. Right. So what happened is I got I was not very good in studying, so I was not so good, and I got failed in multiple subjects in my first semester itself. Right, there was, I think, three papers. C was there. Right, in second semester I got failed in C plus plus. Right, but the thing is, you have your time, right? So you can basically come back. It's not like if you fail in a particular semester, there is a no way back. It's not like that, right? So the thing is, you have to learn. So I also started learning all those things. So I started learning these languages. I started from C. I learned C from this book, Let Us See, by Yashwant Kanetkar. Right, all of you have, if any one of you have heard about it. So that's a very basic book which you can pick up for learning C language. So I started from there. I learned each and every concept. I read that particular book line by line. So it took me almost, I will say, 4 to 5 months to complete at least 70 to 75% of the book, and then I was able to understand what all the what all the logics are there in the C language, what all concept are there in the C language, like loops, like function, like conditions, like operators which we have, right? Like all sort of libraries which we have, right? So I got to know about all those concepts, but the thing was I was lacking in, whenever I got some problem to solve, I was lacking because I had no confidence to basically solve those particular problems. So that was again a big pain for me, that okay, I wrote this whole book, I understand the C language very well, but still I'm not able to solve any particular problem in C language, because I did not had practice and logic building in myself, right? So based on the language, basically I have to build the logic. I have to convert my logic to the programming language, whichever language I am using. Then I have to code that particular problem like this way, right? So I was lacking there, right? Then I started going through some online platform, like, so how to start with all these things. So I got to know that okay, there is some platform which is HackerRank, HackerEarth, CodeShift, and all. So I started from HackerRank because at that time HackerRank was really simple. There were a few problems mentioned. So whatever problems was mentioned, that was pretty straightforward, pretty simple, right? Not that much simple, but yeah, it was a straightforward question. So I started my practicing my logic building from there. I started converting my logic to code, basically in C language, on that particular platform. And yeah, from there I basically grew up. I tried, I solved multiple problems there. So I got comfortable. Then in next semester there was C++. So I learned C++ as well, because switching from C to C++ was not that hard, because all the concepts, all the basic concept was similar. It's just that there was a new concept of oops which was introduced in C++. So I basically used that, right? Use that, learn that, right? And it also, I will say, C++ is one of the great language for competitive coding. But yeah, I will come on this later, right? Then time passed. After that, I went to third year of my college. So in third year of my college, I thought of I must get some internship, because that is also important, right? What's the point if you are just learning and learning and you are not earning from it, right? So I thought, why not try for internship? So when I searched for job, I what I got is mostly the jobs were either in Python or Java, right? A few jobs were in C++, right? So to get the internship, I basically initially I applied jobs specifically for C and C++, but I was not getting selected. So I thought of why not to try some other language. Then I was looking for Python. I saw that Python is also simple language. Then I tried for it. Then I got one internship which was basically in Python. That was a teaching assistant job in a CAD view. So that was my very first internship, where I assist to multiple students, of a particular college, for learning Python. And that language itself I learned just in 2 weeks approx. It took me 2 weeks to learn that particular language, because see, switching from one language to another language is not that difficult, right? Because all the concepts will remain same. It's just that you will see some new term, you will see some new I will say syntax of that particular language, right? But whatever the basic concept is, it will be same throughout the languages, right? It only differ from syntax to syntax, right? So it happened, right? So I switched from C++ to Python. Then when I joined the very first company, it was Infosys. There I got opportunity to learn other two languages, which was Java and Golang, right? So right now, it depends on the requirement. Right now, I either work in Golang or in Java or in C++. Depend on the requirement. Basically, I work on creating multi-server architecture, microservices, you can say it. So that requires different sort of knowledges to build up those things, right? So recently I switched to this new company, which is Velotio Technology. It's in Pune, right? This also like work around these technologies only. So yeah, that was my personal experience in coding. And apart from all these things, I also work with Board Infinity to teach graduate student for having job or getting job, right? So because I have struggled so much for learning each and every concepts line by line just from reading from a book, right? Trying all those concepts by me, right? So it has it took a long time, right? I will say a time to get comfortable to all those things, all those sort of things. But yeah, nowadays, like I do actually teach, right? I make sure that people got to get understand these concepts really in really easy format, in really easy manner, right? So yeah, that's all for my personal experience. Okay. Any question till here? Any question? Any sort of question you have? Yeah, we'll wait for a minute. Then we'll continue. Okay, I think we have some question. So Sujal is asking, uh, can sir also discuss about can we use Java in C++? Okay, oh sorry, in competitive programming. Okay, see, Sujal, we can use Java in competitive programming for sure. It's just that there are multiple languages to use. You can use JavaScript, you can use what to say, you can use C++, you can use C, Python, Golang, any language you can use, right? But the thing is, in competitive coding, there are some standard problem, right, which require some same sort of right. So all those similar mechanism are provided really well in C++ in form of libraries, right? So I will say C++ is a very rich library in terms of your competitive programming. Also, C++ is really faster as compared to your Java. Right. So that's why like people generally prefer C++ for competitive programming, but it's fine if you use Java also. It is also totally fine for the competitive programming. Okay. Okay. So next question is from Gaurav Singh. Is C++ a good language? Of course, it is great language. because all the, I will say, all the network level coding, all the system level coding is still done in C++, right? So one competitor has came into the market, which is Golang, which is giving competition to this particular language. But I think it still has a long way to go, right? C++ will still win this race as of now. Okay. Okay. So Kushans is asking, can a person from non-science background be a coder too? Yes, you can, because I initially mentioned this, like, right? So coding is nothing but, converting your logical ability to, coding, right? So it's just that you need a programming language, learn the syntax and rules of that particular programming language, and you will be able to simply convert your logical thinking ability to the coding, right? So I hope this answers your question. So Suzal is asking that I'm not comfortable in C++. Can I do CP in Java? Of course, Sujal, as I mentioned, you can do it. Okay. Okay. Bhargav is asking, now I am BTech final year. I lack competitive stuff in programming. Could you give me some tips? See, Bhargav. So as of now, you are in final year of your college. So you must be having, interviews going on now or very soon. So try with lead code, because lead code have simply, all the problems, which is basically inclined with the interviews, right? So lead code will have much more interview material question, right? So you can use any language, Java, C++, C, because in interview, language is the secondary stuff. The very first, priority is given to the logical ability, like how great are you with the logics, right? So try to be first great in logic by using any sort of language, then try to get, master on a particular language, right? Totally based on the requirements, right? And your interest as well. So Revas is asking, I want to perfect CP in Java. Is it a good choice? I think I have answered this question, Revas. Uh, Going for the perfect competitive programming, I will say C++ is the best. But again, you can do the same stuff using Java as well, right? It's just that C++, if you use C++ in competitive programming, then it will be a lot more easier for you to code, because as I mentioned, there are all sort of useful libraries given in C++ for competitive programming, right? It has much, I will say, richer library as compared to Java. Cool. Okay. Uh, So one is asking, Sardar is asking, when did you did first internship? I did my first internship when I was in third year of my college. I basically, when I completed my third year of my college, then I did my first internship. Okay, Manoj is asking, I joined in lateral entry CAC this year before I did diploma in Triple E. Now I am a second year semester, don't even know how to write basic code. Give example. See, Manoj, it's we will start on that for see. I think I have already answered this question. So the very first thing is you have to pick a language, right? Pick any language first. The first priority should be pick any language, and from there try to understand the syntax and rule of that particular programming language. The very first thing, right? Then try to simply pick some simple problems like dealing with prime number, like whether a number is prime number or not, right? Try to convert your logical ability, because see, what is a prime number and all, you know this, right? It's just that you need to code, right? So for coding, you need to learn the syntax and the rule of that particular programming language, and start, coding normal stuff, normal problems. You can start from HackerRank or Lead Code, right? Uh, okay. Saurav is asking, should we use Python for learning DSA? See, if you use Python, that will be really clean, because I will say in Python, the way you write code is much more similar to the pseudo code, right? It's much more simpler, much more easier. But I will say in interview, right, people still ask choose a oops language, and I will say Java or C++ is good for it, right? But yeah, of course, you can do competitive coding in Python as well. No issue on that also. Okay. Okay, Nihal is saying, I would say do learn in whatever language we are comfortable in. Yes, you can pick any language. The very first thing. Why to use C++? I have mentioned that already. Okay. Gaurav is asking how to get off-campus internship and job. I am from Tier 3 college. See, Gaurav, if you are from Tier 3 college, first of all, build your LinkedIn profile really great, right? So very first thing, try to have multiple talent acquisition person into your contact, multiple talent acquisition person, multiple HR person, multiple people from higher post, right? People who have great experience. Try to connect with them. Try to approach them. Just a simple hi, and then why you connected them, some sort of interest you have to show for them, right? Like okay, I really suppose take an example, you liked the post of that particular person, right? Then start conversation on that particular post, right? And the second thing is you can try naukri.com. That is also really great for directly getting job. But for internship, I will say first is LinkedIn, second is Internshala is also good, but they don't pay great, right? So whatever company which hire from Internshala, they don't pay great, but yeah, it's still better, right, for getting internships. I'm in second semesters. Should I do DSA first, or I can start CP? See, you can directly start CP. No issue on that, because CP is nothing that okay, for learning CP you must learn DSA and an algorithm and algorithm. It's not like that, right? CP competitive programming is nothing but mm, converting your logical ability to coding in much more vast manner, right? So you can start some CP problems, right? And eventually, when there is a problem which you are not able to solve, try to find the answer of that particular of that particular problem. Try to read editorial of that particular problem, and then on the way, whatever concept will come on the way, try to learn that particular concept at that particular time, right? Apart from this, also you can start learning DSA at least, so you are familiar with all the basic data structures, like stack, queue, heap, right, trees, graphs, right? So this basic thing will be there. If it is there, then it's good, right? This will basically help you to pace up into your competitive programming journey. Okay, fine. Rishabh is saying, I want to do Android development, but college doesn't have that as major. Can I take web development as major? Will it help in Android development? Of course. See, Rishabh, whatever Android development you will do, there still will be a backend, right? And that backend will be same for the web application also, right? So it will help you to basically understand how the backend and the front end basically communicate. It's just that the front end, instead of being as a web app, it will be Android app, so you have to simply switch the UI part. So it will be much more easier, because you will knowing what is going behind the scene, because you know the web development process, right? How it works end to end. It's just that you need to replace your web application to the Android application, right? So I think it will help, for sure it will help. Okay, so Sardar is saying, I know C++ basic structure, then how should I learn CP, as I need to learn DSA first? See, Sardar, first of all, try to learn all the STD, like standard template library, which is not STD, STL, my bad, right? Try to learn STL, which is there in C++, because those are the library which will help you to learn, to pace up your journey in C++ in your competitive coding, right? So try to get through all the STL, because when you will learn STL, you will come along the way on DSA also, because STL is nothing but it has the implementation of all the DSA, all the basic DSA, not DSA, but DS, I will say. But yeah, there is a few algorithms also which is also implemented internally in those STL, like sorting, searching, and all, right? And if you talk about DS part, yes, it is there. There are libraries like stack, queues, heaps, right? So those has been implemented really well in competitive programming. Sorry, really well in STL of C++. So try to learn STL in C++. It will help you in CP. Okay. Best platform for practicing CP. See, there is not a best platform, right? You can start from any platform, but as a newbie, I will say you can start from either LeetCode or HackerRank. Then you can move to, I will say, Codeforce, right? Because Codeforce is also great. But yeah, before moving to Codeforce, try to start from LeetCode and HackerRank, because those have very simple problem, very simple logical problem, aptitude type of problem, right? Available on their website. right? CodeShift is also good, but I will go with Code Force, right? I will give a majority to Code Force with compared to CodeShift, right? Can you share your LinkedIn profile? Of course, Sujal, my LinkedIn profile will be shared very soon. Nitesh will share that very soon. Okay. Which language are required for mean stack development? See, language, I will say TypeScript and the JavaScript will be required for this. Okay. Gaurav Singh, I am interested in data science, but I am worried there are very less fresher job in this field. See, Gaurav, you learn data science, you learn any some sort of technology, but data structure and algorithm will give you a big pain if you are not comfortable in it, right? So you choose any domain. You either you choose web application development, either you choose Android development, either you choose data science, machine learning, any platform you choose. Make sure you are comfortable in data structures and algorithm. And to be comfortable in this particular domain, it is a must that you are practicing this DSA problem with the help of CP, right? Competitive programming, because it will help you to make your logical thinking ability more stronger as compared to you just learn DSA. That's it. It's not like that, right? To basically boost up your logical ability thinking process, you can move ahead with the competitive programming. Okay. See, Rishabh is saying mean stack, CSS, JavaScript. Yeah, I mean HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and Node.js is nothing but a library of JavaScript. So if you know JavaScript really well, you will know Node.js also, because it's just a framework, right? Which helps to basically create the backend application, right? Okay. Any further question, guys? Sir, I'm in second sem now. Must I first I master C++ or I start doing CP simultaneously with my learning of C++? See, I will tell you very first thing. Learning C++ will take you hardly 2 to 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks is a max. If you are dedicating, at least 2 to 3 hours daily, 4 hours daily, right? You can easily learn the basic. So whatever the basic which is required for the CP, you can learn it in 3 to 3 weeks is a max, right? 21 days is more than enough for this, right? Whatever you learned in those 21 days, with that learning only, you can continue on competitive programming. Okay. But yeah, learning any language initially, it may take time, totally based on your IQ and your understanding ability. Okay. So depends, right? But just learn the basic of like how to use loops, how to use conditions, how to use functions, how to use some sort of libraries. That's it. That is fine. Okay. After that, you can jump to CP. Start solving the basic problem, simple problem, which is directly proportional to the logic building, right? That will help. Cool. Okay, Vikas is saying in mean stack web development subject which language is required. See, mean you will require Node, you will require Angular, you will require TypeScript, you will require JavaScript, you will require HTML, you will require CSS, right? Bootstrap. No, Bootstrap is not required nowadays. Angular material is there, so it helps. Okay, cool. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, so yeah, I think I have discussed this thing already. Key things required for competitive coding, but now let me repeat this. So the very first thing is you can pick any language. If it is C, then it may be a little complex for you to write code for competitive coding, because all sort of thing we will have will you will have to do. You will have to complete it. Then you will achieve the result, but it will be slow process. C++ will be really fast, right? Python will be also good. Java is also good. It's just that why C++ is best. I have mentioned that already, right? And after that, after choosing one language, you need to be comfortable with data structures, right? At least data structures. If not algorithm, at least data structures, right? Because algorithm you will learn on the way, right? Along solving problems of comparative coding, right? But for data structures, I think it is really important, right, to understand the basic structures. By using that, you can code basically, right? And the third thing is the actual online coding platform where you need to do the online coding practices. Okay. So the reason is why you learn C++, I have mentioned, but I will mention this again. See, the very first thing is the syntax of C++. If you see the concept in C++, if you see, that is almost, not almost, but yeah, most of the C concept, C features has been taken in C++, right? It's just that the object-oriented, aspect is given in this language. So it has all those, feature of C, all those, faster execution time feature of C available in C++, right? And it will also help you to basically boost up your coding, I will say, experience in competitive programming. Why so? Because it has all those rich STL, rich standard template libraries available in C++, rich collection of libraries available in C++, which will help you to really code faster. Because see, again, why STL is required? Because if you see, if there is a problem which require to write at least 20 to 30 line of code, and there is some library which has already written all those 30 to 50 lines of code, and you can use that by just having a single line. So that is better, right? Because in competitive coding, while you are participating into a contest, I will say you have a limited time threshold, right? And in that, writing a one line of code is much more beneficial than writing the 30 to 40 line of code, right? It will consume less time. So that's why I said initially that C++ is the great one in this case for for competitive coding especially. Okay. So talking about the online platform, we have Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, CodeChef, right? Lead Code. So Lead Code is basically for preparing for your jobs, right? If you are in final year of your college and you think, okay, I don't have much time to invest in competitive coding, so is there a platform where I can simply practice for 3 to 4 months to 5 months, and be an average a good student for the interviews? Then it is of course Lead Code and HackerRank also, right? But for starting in competitive coding, starting from a very basic, either you can go for Hacker Earth at or CodeChef or Codeforce. Okay. Okay. So Gaurav is asking, I cracked a good package off campus. How is Elitmus, CoCubes, AMCAT for jobs? See, these companies are not that helpful, I will say. But of course, if you are investing your money in Elitmus, CoCubes, or AMCAT, make sure you are getting good numbers. If you are getting good numbers, by good I mean is top numbers, then of course you will get multiple opportunities, right? But I mean, yeah, it's totally up to your choice. I will say if you are investing that much amount in your colleges, right? That much, big amount on your colleges, you can invest in these small things as well. Because if you are able to perform really well, of course, you will get opportunities from here as well. Because see, I have never tried 8 months cubes, but I have tried AMCAT when I was in college. I get decent number, not very good number, I will say. Average number I got. I forgot what number I got, but yeah, it was average. So nowadays I'm getting multiple job opportunities, frankly, and I'm getting all those job opportunities from Naukri.com. To be frank, right? If I open my Naukri.com profile right here, you will see there are multiple, HR who has approached me for the jobs. It's just that it's totally up to my choice which one I want to pick, right? So Naukri.com is also a great website for having jobs, right? So it's not like you have to invest on Elitmus or GoCubes or AMCAT and prepare for their things, right? It's not like that. It's up to you. Okay. Will code chef ranking matter in placement? See, Rivash, I have seen multiple people who have mentioned that uh, the ratings they have mentioned on their resume, but when I ask question to them, they are not as good as they sound, in their resume by just mentioning the ranking. Because nowadays people are simply copying and pasting the code and submitting it somehow and then having the ranks and all, right? That's why people still believe on judging the people based on their logical ability, right? So if you go in interview, you still have to crack that logical ability round, that coding round, right? You will require that. So this will give impact, but not that much. Okay. Not on higher priority, but it just okay, this is okay. If he's a good coder on code shift, then maybe he will also perform good in interviews, right? But it's not directly proportional. Okay. Any further question? Okay, fine. Moving forward. So let's begin with the basic problem. Very first thing, right? Which is finding a prime number. So we all know, right, how to find a prime number. We all are aware of this, because what is a prime number? Basically, if a number is divisible by itself and one. So if there is only two number, if that number is being divisible by, in that case, we can say that it's a prime number. If there is any other number, right, apart from that number and one, and if it is divisible to that as well, then we will say it's not a prime number. So there is a simple logic. Suppose if I want to if I ask you a question that whether a particular number, say 10, is a prime number or not, you can check. Okay, I will check it from 2 to 3. I will start from 2, because from 1 obviously it is divisible. I will start from 2 and I will go up to 9. Okay, I will start from 2. I will check if it is divisible. I will pick 3. I will check if it is divisible. I will pick 4. I will check if it is divisible, like that. I will start from the beginning. I will go till 9. If I found any number by which it is divisible uh, uh, by which it is divisible, basically, then I can clearly say that this number is not a prime number, right? So this is the basic logic which I have, right, which we have learned when we were in school, right? So to simply convert this logic into coding, we will start the coding on some online platform. So I'll pick this online coding platform, which is CodeShift. This is IDE provided by CodeShift. So I hope this is visible. Visible. Please confirm. This is visible, right? This IDE, right? So it can be check if the given number is prime, right? Right. So we can write our code here. So what we will do is we will pick a number. Suppose we will pick a number int n. Say, right. Suppose if int n is equal to 10, I will pick a number. Then I will check if I will write a function is prime, right? And here I will pass this number, say n, right? And I will say, okay, if it is true, in that case, you can write it as this is a prime number, right? Or I can say, if it is not, then I can simply go here and say, okay, this is not a prime number, like this, right? Uh, no, right? It's not, right? So
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah,
we have a query from the students that could you please zoom in?
yeah, a little bit zoom. Okay, okay, fine, 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 fine. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, okay, it's too much, I think. Yeah, let me know if it is fine. It's fine, right? Cool. So this is the logic for I basically wrote this. I took the number, right, and I am having a function. So as of now, I'm not having that. So what I will try to do is I will simply have this. So I have a number here. It will be, first of all, return me this is prime, like this. I can take here whatever input I have, right, and simply I can write my code, right? So this will simply help me to first of all check whether the given number is prime or not. If it is prime, then this will print yes, this is a prime number. If it is not, it will say no, it's not, like that, right? So our logic will go here, right? Our logic will go here. So first of all, we will see that if it is if it is equal to 1. So suppose we know that if it's 1, so the given input, see, this is a function you are writing, right? So it can be any number, right? So if it is 1, in that case, we don't have to say anything for it. So we will simply return it as false. So if it is 1, then return false. I will say not a prime number, right? So for that, I can simply have a check, right? Sorry, not input. Sorry, this input only. Okay, input. If it is equal to 1, in that case, simply return false. It is not a prime number, right? But if in any case, if it is a prime number, we need to check, right? So we will check it, check the number if divisible, divisible uh, uh, by the number in the range 2 to 9, right? So I will try to write a loop for this, right? I will try to write a loop for this, which will help me to some sort of get this. Okay, so I will declare a number here. I will say that I is equal to, I is equal to 0, right? I will not 0. I'll start from 2 basically, and I will check for if it is smaller than equal to 9. So go up to there, right? And do an increment over here, right? And I will have to check if any, by any number, right? Whatever the input we have as of now. So if input modulus 2 equal to 0, which not 2, sorry, I equal to 0, if any number I got, right, by which this number is basically divisible, I can say that no, it's not a prime number, right? If it is divisible, right, then I can say that return false, return false, right? And if you found that, okay, from number, okay, not 9 actually, it will be here, I will say whatever the input you have, input -1, right? Because the input can be anything, so we have to make sure that that it is dynamic, right? So or you can remove this one, not required, all right? Or and you can make it as smaller than, okay? And if it is not the case, right, you checked from starting from 2, you went up to that particular input, right, up to that particular input, and you found that, okay, there is no any number by which this input is basically divisible, then you can surely say that it is of course a prime number, right? So this is the code. We will try to execute. I will try to first minimize this. Okay, I changed my input. It's input, only input. Okay, I will come back to this. Why input -1 or unable to connect to port shift. I will refresh the page. Uh, I'm not sure why it is not able to. Okay, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, not sure why this is not working. Okay, let's pick some another online C++ IDE. Okay, it's not working onto my system. I'm not sure why this is happening. Uh, okay, Sujal answer the question. That's really great. That every number is divisible by itself. That's why we we simply go for the number which is one less than that particular number only, right? So let's run this question, right? So it is saying that no, it is not a prime number, right? So if you give a particular prime number, suppose I will say 5, right? And if you run this, right, it will say that, yeah, this is a prime number, right? So you're getting the output. So the logic here behind this, you pick whatever number you have to check for whether it is a prime number or not, right? Then after you simply go for you write a function, then you simply check, okay, if it is 1, then of course it is not a prime number, right? You simply return. But if it is a number which is greater than 1, right, then of course you need to check from 2 up to the number -1, right? So this symbol will help you to simply check that. Suppose if the example is 5, if I want to check whether the 5 is prime number or not, so I will check for whether the 5 is divisible by 2, 3, 4. So if it is divisible by any of this number, in that case, it is not a prime number. If not, then of course it is a prime number, like that. So here you see, I simply converted my logic, which we already know from our school life, that what is a prime number and what not a prime number is, some sort of coding stuff, right? So for this, I must know what is main, right? What is int here? I must know the rules for this. I must know the syntax for this. I must know how to use my true false, how to capture the value of true false, how to work on that particular condition, right? I'm aware of, I'm aware of this, right? I'm aware of all the syntax. I'm aware of all the rules which is available in C++, right? And then I was simply able to convert my logical ability to the coding part, right? So I hope this helps you to understand this this combo thing, like logical ability, converting it into the coding thing, right? Better. And for that, I will again repeat, you require two things. One is syntax of any programming language, and the rules, right? Any further questions, guys, on this? Or as of now, that's all for the day. I mean, if you have any further questions, then of course we'll love to answer that. Any question related to anything? We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Okay. So as of now, I am working with Board Infinity also, and like apart from my normal jobs, normal job, what I do, as so you all know that you must have seen that I am working in the Velotio Technology as a software engineer. But apart from that, I also teach in in Board Infinity as a coach in data structures and algorithm, and I took full stack batches for mean stack, mon stack. You know, multiple batches are there, so I do teach uh, for all those courses as well. So you like the session? Was it useful for you? Data type of function. See, function is not a data type, right? As of now, function is a concept. Data type is something what you are storing some sort of data into some sort of variable. So variable is basically categorized into different data type, because variable can catch different data, right? So data is basically categorized into different types. Okay. Sir, must we do any study for DSA, or we will learn it along with our CP? See, first of all, learn a language. I will repeat, learn a language, learn the STL. If you are starting with C++, learn STL, right? And of course, for using STL in much more depth, right, you need to learn the DSA, because DSA is what is there behind the STL, right? So if you know all the micro detail of the DSA, then only you will be able to use the STL in much more easier way, right? You have the STL as a really great I will say tool for the CP. Okay, start with language, learn language, then along with that try to solve a problem which do not require DSA. There are many logical problems which do not require DSA. Okay, HTL, no, STL, standard template library, right? It is available in C++, STL, standard template library. So all the data structure code is being it is available in form of library in STL in C++. So in C++, STL is simple, the collection of all the data structures library. So you can you don't have to write all the data structures from scratch, right? By just using loops, functions, variables and all. You can simply use it by just having the name of it from the package itself. Okay. Okay, any further questions, guys? Okay, how was the session? You understood, your doubt got cleared. You got some sort of basic idea which language to choose, right? Why to choose? Why competitive coding? Why coding? Right? Okay, that's all for the day. I think there's no much more much no much question we have here. Okay. Yeah, that's all from my side. Back to you, Gutej.
Thank you so much, sir, for the informative session. And I hope our participants got the clear-cut roadmap for the competitive programming. And every Sundays we will be planning and will be coming with the data structures algorithm, this kind of webinar sessions in the upcoming Sundays. Uh, Apart from that, please let us know by your valuable feedbacks what you need in the upcoming Sundays, like more what we can do in the terms of giving you the more information, the best content. And you can check out our courses as well on the www.boardinfinite.com, where we are giving data structures and algorithm with C++ course, in which we have a very good coaches from different MNCs. They are coming. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us today.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. Yeah.